Today we're going to get started with our assignment number 1 with PowerPoint, bullying, and our things that we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and start off with our slide number 1 with our title. So as we've done in Microsoft Word and Excel, one of the first things that we're going to be doing is putting in a header and a footer so that your name applies on every single slide. So we need a slide number. We also need a footer, and in the footer we want to make sure that it says assignment 1 and your name. I'm going to make sure and apply that to all, and you'll see that you'll find that on each one of your slides down at the bottom along with a number. Alright, something else that we're going to be doing is we're going to be making our project a little bit more colorful and interesting to look at. So what we're going to be doing here is we're going to be adding a design of your choice. So you can go through and kind of look at some of the different designs. There's lots and lots of designs to choose from. Do make sure that your design kind of looks professional and doesn't take away from the look. So with this one's a little too flowery and a little too cute. So I'm going to choose something that would kind of reflect what we're talking about. This one does a nice job of that. So I'm going to go ahead and click that. Next, after you have bullying, you also need that you are who it's presented by. So please go ahead and put your name, presented by, and this is Rao's project. Please make sure in this part you need to put down your name. Alright, we're going to go on to our next slide. Before we move on to our next slide, something else we need to do is make some changes to the font. So if you come up here, you should be able to change your coloring. You should be able to change your font like you have in other programs. Something else that you're going to be doing in this program is inserting some clip art. With clip art, if you go over here, we're going to search for something. We're going to search for is a bully. So let's go ahead and searching. We'll see what we come up with. We come up with several different examples. I'm going to go ahead and use this one. You see it pops up right here. You can go ahead and make it fit your page a little bit more, make it a little bit, you have a lot of room on this one, so I'm going to make it a little bit bigger. Alright, on this slide number 1, we are finished. I've changed font, I've changed color, I have my clip art, a footer and a header, and I've also changed the design. So let's go ahead to our second slide, which is the definition. The first thing we need to do here is to tab in the last 2 bullets so that they are a multi-level list. So these 4 right now are kind of the same, and we want to make these 2 a little bit of a lesser, so that just means that it's supposed to be found underneath this section. So I'm using the tab button and I'm making sure that those are tabbed over. Next, we're going to change the slide layout, and with the slide layout we want it to be a to content. So we have all of this information on this side, and then we also need this one over here. This is going to be where we add a picture into our project. We're going to add some more clip art. So if you add some more clip art, you have a couple different places. You could find a picture from here. However, in this project we're going to be using something, cancel that, we're going to be using the clip art inside the program. Inside the program. So if you see these are all the different kinds that you're going to be using, and I'm going to hit clip art, and I want to use this one. So I'm going to bring that over, and whenever you do this with the clip art, you notice I clicked on that was inside here, it fills the entire space that was on before. Do make sure that if you find something that is misspelled, we have this one over here, which should be this is misspelled. It is a sweetheart. So go through and make sure that all of the corrections are being made throughout the slides. Next one, we have a animate each bullet point with an entrance. And you're also going to want to pulse the last image to make it even more of an emphasis. So if you go into your animation, you can make you can see some of the different ones here. I liked the floating in the best one. That gives a little bit of time for people to read. And as we go in, our last one that we want, it says animate the image last with a pulse emphasis. So if we highlight this one, we're going to do a little bit of animation to make sure that we want more of an effect on our picture. So we're going to go to add animation, and for an emphasis we want pulse. So it kind of just shows the picture a little bit more. Let's go on to our slide number 3. For slide number 3, we're going to clean it up a little bit by changing the layout. We want a to content once again. We're also going to now be putting a graph in over here. So for our graph, what we're going to be choosing is we're going to be inserting a chart. So if we insert a chart, we're going to be choosing a pie graph. So the pie graph, you have several different options here for pie graphs. I'm going to go with this one. And what you'll see is whenever I click this, it will bring up an Excel program. So for our Excel program, it starts out with, this is the information, this is just kind of an example. So I'm going to go ahead and type in the information exactly how they have it on the paper. So you'll notice that I've inserted the data over here on the Excel program, and it is exactly as it is on the paper. Make sure that you have all of these, the title in the right place, and all of your information. You'll notice here though, for my example it gave me, that it had a number 4, it had a 4th one. We're not needing that because we only have 3 types of data here. So if you hover above this, you're going to find that you can have a couple of different tools for your option. That's your fill handle. Instead, what we're looking for is if you toggle over this one, which I'm having a little bit of trouble getting this to come up at the moment, but you'll have this one right here, and you'll be able to lessen it by 1. So you'll see that it automatically updated. We'll hit enter, and there's your new information without the 4th bullet. Now we can go ahead and get rid of that. We don't need to see the Excel program anymore. Now do make sure that you have gone through and made everything that you need on slide number 3. So we have the to content, the graph, placeholder, we have our Excel data, our pie graph, and we need to change the layout to layout 1. Switch bullets to the right side and chart to the right. So we need to change these just a little bit. So we're going to switch our boxes. So I'm going to take this one over here, and I'm going to just flip this. Next, we're going to go down to slide number 4, characteristics of a bully. With our characteristics of a bully, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to insert some clip art once again. For our clip art, we're going to have search for bully, and we're going to use the first picture that comes up. So we're going to use this one. And we can go ahead and put this one in here. You can choose it. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to add a new a new bullet at the bottom. So if I go down to the end of where I have, now I'm going to go ahead and enter again. You can see that it's got a bullet that is ready to receive my information. I have my information in, so I have learn more of the bully project, and then I have the address over here. And we're going to move this so it's not in the way. Next, what we're going to do is we want to make sure that we have this hyperlinked. So if I go ahead and highlight the entire thing here on my Insert tab, you'll see that there is an option for hyperlink. So I'm going to go ahead and click this. And what it's going to do is it's going to, whenever you press this, it's going to be able to bring it up on the internet. To hyperlink this, we're going to go ahead and highlight the entire address and go to your hyperlink button, and you're going to paste that in here. So if you paste that in and hit OK, you'll see that all of a sudden it changed, and this is the symbol. It's underlined and it's in blue, and now people are aware that that will take them to the internet. Alright, after we have that, something else that we're going to be doing is animating our bullets once again. And this one is kind of your choice as to how you would like to make this appear. So if I have this one, I'm going to choose the appear, and that one's going to work. So go back and make sure that you have all of your things done on slide number 4. So we put in some clip art of our bully, the first one that came up, add a new bullet at the bottom, and we have our address hyperlinked, and then we also have our animation for each bullet point. Next, we're ready to move on to slide number 5. Slide number 5, we're going to animate each bullet, so I'm going to go ahead and click on this, and let's go ahead and have this one. I like the way that looks. Next one, we're going to insert clip art image of our choice, and with this one I'm going to use one that I haven't used before. So if I take that one and drag it over, it's a little on the large side, so I'm going to need to resize that. I do want it to kind of, we've got a lot of extra space here, so I'm going to kind of make it a little bit bigger, fill some of our space. Now the next thing it says is animate the target using a motion path. So if we go to our animation, we need to animate the target using a motion path. So on this one, for instead of a bullying image that you haven't used before, you need to search target. That's my mistake there. Next, we're going to go to add animation, and we are going to use a motion path. So as you can see, whichever one of these that you choose, it's going to kind of have something happen for your animation. So you can kind of do some different things here. You can use the motion path of your choice. That one not liking because it covers things up, so I'm going to try and make sure that it's not covering any of my text whenever it's working. And this one does a nice job of that one, so does this. I'm going to go ahead and click this one so it adds to the effect. Now we're ready to go ahead and move on to slide number 6. On slide number 7, we're ready to go ahead and move on. We're going to change the layout to a to content. So I'm going to go ahead and put this here. Next, what we're going to do is we need to get a picture, this time from the internet, not from the clip art. So this one is of your choice. You need to find something that kids might bring to school that would be maybe a target of getting stolen. So I went ahead and went to Google Images and searched an iPhone. So I'm going to go ahead and take this image, and if I click on View Image, it gives me just this image all by itself. So next thing I'm going to do is save image as, and when I save that image, we need to make it available and ready for you to use. So if I go to my computer H drive, and please go ahead and you can save it there. You can put it into your PowerPoint folder, and I'm going to go back to my project now. Now I'm going to insert picture from file. I saved that, and it should be in my H drive, and I have several different pictures. That's the one I wanted, so I'm going to go ahead and insert that. Next, what we're going to be doing, we're also going to be putting in a little bit of a shape. So we want a symbol, so I'm in the insert shapes, and if I go down to the sign over here, I'm going to draw a big sign to let students know that they should not be bringing that to school. Now right now it's green, and I want to kind of change the information about this. So I don't want a green, I would rather this be red. So what we're going to do is do some changing on our, if I click on my symbol, I've got a couple of different choices here. I want to fill the shape, and I want to make this red. So I'm going to go ahead and make this red. Something else we want is to make sure that there is not a border on it. We just want that all by itself. So if I go down to Format Shape, this gives me more options. And if I want a line style, or if I want a line color, I'm going to go ahead and request no line at all, and you'll see that the immediate difference here. Next, what you're going to do is you're going to need to group these together. So if I move this right now, these two are independent of each other, and we want them to be the same. So what I'm going to do is to be able to select both of them at the same time. I'm going to select the first one. Now I'm going to press the Control key so that I can also select the second one at the same time. If I click on that,